It begins in darkness, not the darkness of night, but the darkness within. A place you rarely enter, a place you avoid, a place where the parts of you that feel unworthy, unacceptable, and unloved have been quietly buried. This is the shadow. Carl Jung once said, "The shadow is everything we refuse to acknowledge about ourselves, yet it is always with us." And today, we are going to meet it, not with fear, but with curiosity, not with judgment, but with compassion. The shadow is born in childhood. A child comes into the old world curious, playful, unfiltered. They laugh loudly, they cry freely, they rage, they dance, they imagine. But soon, they learn some behaviors bring love, others bring rejection. Smile and you're praised. Show anger and you are scolded. Be helpful and you are rewarded. Show weakness and you are shamed. Piece by piece, the child learns to hide the parts of themselves that are not safe. These hidden parts do not disappear. They sink into the unconscious. They become the shadow. The shadow holds more than darkness. It carries your anger, your envy, your guilt, but it also carries your forgotten joy, your wildness, your creativity, all the parts of you that were not allowed to exist. Perhaps you were told not to cry, so your vulnerability went into the shadow. Perhaps you were told to stop being so loud, so your power, your voice, your strength all went into the shadow. The shadow is not evil. It is simply the home of everything you disowned. And until you meet it, it will control you from the dark. How do you find your shadow? Well, life shows you. When someone makes you irrationally angry, when you judge another harshly, when you feel an emotion far too big for the situation, these are the whispers of the shadow. Projection, psychologists call it, the act of throwing what we cannot accept in ourselves onto the faces of others. The person you despise for being arrogant may be holding the part of you that longs to be more confident. The person you envy for being free is maybe showing you the part of you still caged. Every irritation is a mirror. Every jealousy, every trigger, every resentment, a clue leading you back to your shadow. Now, close your eyes if you wish. Breathe deeply. Feel the weight of your body resting where you sit. Now, imagine a staircase before you. Stone steps leading downward onto the earth. With each breath, take one step down. 1, 2, 3. Deeper into yourself. At the bottom, there is a door. Heavy, wooden, ancient. You reach for the handle. You open it. Inside is a room. Dimly lit, walls lined with mirrors. And in the center, you see a figure waiting. It is you, but not the version you show the world. It is the you that you abandoned, the you that carries your fears, your rage, your tenderness, your power. Look at them. What expression do they wear? Do they look hurt? Do they look angry? Do they look young, forgotten, afraid? This is your shadow. Take a step closer. Do not judge. Do not run. Just observe. What do they want to tell you? What have they been holding for you all these years? Listen. Shadow work is not about conquering the shadow. It is about befriending it. When you meet your anger, you discover your boundaries. When you meet your fear, you discover your courage. When you meet your envy, you discover your desire. The shadow, once integrated, becomes power, unexpressed energy waiting to be reclaimed. But integration is slow work. It requires honesty, it requires patience, it requires the courage to admit, I am not only what I show to the world, but I am also what I hide, and both are me. Imagine yourself now standing in that room with your shadow. They reach out a hand. Will you take it? This simple act, accepting what you once rejected, is the beginning of wholeness. Because when you embrace your shadow, you stop running from yourself. You stop projecting your pain onto others. You begin to live authentically, not as half a person, but as a whole one. Carl Jung wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Your shadow is not your enemy, it is your teacher, and within its darkness are the seeds of your greatest light. As you leave this meditation, remember, the shadow is not something you meet once. It walks with you always, in your relationships, in your work, in your quietest moments. And each time it shows itself, you have a choice to ignore it or to listen. The path of the shadow work is not easy, but it is the path to becoming real, to being whole. So the next time anger rises, the next time envy burns, the next time you find yourself judging another, pause, look closer, and ask gently, what part of me is asking to be seen? Because when you meet your shadow, you are no longer split. You are no longer hiding. You are no longer afraid of yourself. You are finally free.